We're ready. Here we go. Caitlin, you ready?
Ready. Go ahead. Opening statement.
Well, good win for our team. Had to deal with a lot of, uncomfortable, situations there late in the second half. We put ourselves, in a tough spot, not being able to, one, consistently get, the ball to go in the basket when we had good shots. And then two, obviously being organized, getting back, our effort getting back, and then our effort on the ball in the second half as they sort of really just spread the floor and just started to drive became problematic. But the big thing is finding a way to regroup, find a way to, organize yourselves and be in the same situation that you were in Wisconsin the other day and win the game. And, that's what I told our team going into the last 3 minutes. We're in this situation the other night, Thursday night, and we found a way not to be able to execute or get the stops. And I think tonight we got a couple key stops. We were able to execute, and we made a couple free throws, and we were able to win the game. So that's the most important thing because, right now in this league, every one of these things counts.
First question, Alex Bozich.
Archie, offensive rebounding has been kind of inconsistent up to this point, but tonight I think you guys grabbed about 32% of your missed shots. That's about 10% better, I guess, than what you have been doing. How important is that for you guys to continue to establish that, and how much have you been emphasizing that over the last couple weeks?
It was a big emphasis, coming out of the Wisconsin game. I think we played 50 minutes in that game and maybe had one or two offensive rebounds, which is unheard of, especially with Trace and Race in the game. Both of them are very good offensive rebounders. But it's second efforts, and I think sometimes these guys are playing a lot of minutes and, it's hard, but you got to go. You got to find a way to get second shots. And we talked a lot about it in the last 3 days, especially playing against Nebraska, who changes up their defenses. And there's going to be a lot of rotation with post traps and drives that you're going to have the opportunity to crash with lanes. And I thought tonight we had some big ones. At the end of the first half, Jerome, Trace got a couple. Galloway's was really big at the end of the first half to get that. And then the second half, we were able to establish and get a few more, which was really good. Big key to the game, to be honest with you, is us out rebounding them and not turning it over but 8 times in the game. So I was proud of the second efforts. I thought Jerome missing his own shot and following up was probably the nail in the coffin for us to give us the ability to win the game.
Dustin.
Archie, obviously they did everything they could, especially in the first half, to take Trace out of it, and you guys, responded to that really well in the first half. I guess not as well early in the second. What did you see, went particularly well, especially in the first half? What didn't go so well early in the second half? Was it just missing shots, or was there?
Yeah, I would say based on not watching the film and just having a feel from my sideline, is to say that some of the shots in the second half were the same ones in the first half. They just went in. And we got some good looks in the second half. They didn't go down. They definitely were obviously surrounding the paint with 5 players. And they also trapped the post, most of the night and tried to make other guys beat them. In the first half, Rob and Al in particular, I thought did a really good job. We had some other guys step up and make some shots. In the second half, when we really went through our rut and struggled to score, I thought later in the game, Al made a couple big plays, a couple drives and got fouled. And then Trace sort of emerged, when we needed him the most. But teams are going to do that. Purdue's going to do the same thing. They'll trap Trace every single time he catches the ball. It's not going to be anything new. I do think right now we're getting a little bit more confident handling it. And I also think we have some more guys with confidence right now offensively that, feel good about shooting the ball. We're getting a lot of different type of contributions each game in, game out from behind the line. And, for us, we shot 37% from 3 and made 9 threes. That's a pretty good night for us. We have different guys shooting it. I didn't think we would make, 7 for 13 another half. But at the end of the day, as you look at it as a coach, were you getting a quality shot? Were you getting a good possession? In the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, did you execute better than you did against Wisconsin? That was the goal in the game, and I think we did that.
Greg Doyle.
Sorry. Archie, you said this is not going to be anything new with Trace getting trapped and all that. Did Nebraska sell out more than you've been seeing it? There were several times it looked to me like they didn't even care what else was happening. Trace,
yeah, I would say Nebraska's probably the first team that had the extreme level of they let the other guys shoot it, make them shoot it type of a feel. And I think they did that to us a little bit last year as well. But they decided not to guard some guys. They decided to leave guys just wide open. And sometimes that's a funny feeling when you miss one or two. You know what I mean? Sometimes as a player, when you're being left open and you miss a couple, it starts to play games with you. But you got to continue to take them. You got to continue to take the good ones in the rhythm on the inside out. We knew that was coming. But I thought just in general, it was a very tight, very soft approach on the ball. Try to keep everything underneath you and, try to feed the post the best you can and get it in as many times, but they were going to sell out and try to get it out. But I will say this, Trace did get 14 free throws in this game, which was great to see because the other night they only called 8 personal fouls the entire 50 minutes. So tonight, for us to be able to get to the foul line 25 times, that was a much different feeling for us than it was the other night. But Trace is going to have to continue to deal with the doubles, and our guys are going to have to continue to be confident when it comes back out.
John Blau.
Obviously, you guys had that tough loss to Wisconsin. It seemed like you guys went straight to Nebraska. Getting there early, I mean, how do you think that helped you guys just kind of move on? And do you think it helped with your shooting, having experience on those rims going into this game?
I don't know about the shooting, but we did go straight from Wisconsin to Nebraska. We've looked at a lot of our trips this year from a COVID standpoint and from a budget standpoint, and just trying to figure out what's the best. And this was going to be a long road swing with no school, and to leave Wisconsin, fly all the way back to Indiana, get in at 2 or 3 in the morning. Friday's going to be a hard day. You got to get back on a plane Saturday. I spent some time in the Pac-10, and I always thought that, like, the players, the more they can stay in one place, the more they can have recovery time in the hotel, the more you could use your hotel ballroom to walk through things. It just seems to me it gives them much more of a comfortable recovery approach. So we tried that this week. It worked out well for us. I thought our guys did a good job. We did get over here and practice a couple times, so I thought we were familiar with the building. I don't know if it helped with our shooting, but I would do it again as well. I mean, I just think right now, traveling and all the testing and all the getting up and doing stuff, sometimes these guys are going to be better off of just kind of staying tight. And we go back this week to a home game, and then we're going to continue to kind of look for our road opportunities when we can eliminate as much on a plane, on a bus, back on a plane, back on a bus as we can. And this, to me, took one leg of the trip sort of out of it for our guys, where we could get in and then yesterday spend some time and just kind of working on Nebraska ourselves and not really worrying about a whole lot of travel.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.